ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Talk Conspiracies.
Damn, son.
So we've got your host Jerminator.
Hello.
We've got Rage Monkey.
Good evening.
You cheer Chaz.
Yeah.
That cut out then, but hello. And myself, Hammerspank. Today, it's a conspiracy. The government are onto us already. Get out now, get out. Right, anyway,
Get the tinfoil out.
We are discussing today, first off, I'm going to save the second bit. The first thing we are going to discuss at the moment is not so much conspiracy, it is a urban legend and a myth, or is it? We're going to be speaking about the legend of the Mothman. First off, has everyone read up on the Mothman?
I've had a little bit of a read, not an awful lot.
Yeah, I have read up on
I'll give you a quick heads up. In 1966 in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, a string of sightings of a creature the size of a man with red blazing eyes and 10-foot wings was reported. The very first sighting was in 1966. So you had, and it was reported by 5 grave diggers, November the 12th, 1966. They claimed to have seen a humanoid figure with bat wings fly down and glide over them. 3 days later, 2 couples claimed to witness 7-foot creatures with glowing red eyes. And in the next 13 months, 200 claims of paranormal activity were made by residents. There was also 100 sightings recorded of the Mothman. And then the very last sighting was right before the Silver Bridge collapse in 1967, where 46 people died. But they claim the Mothman was sat on the bridge right before. Now, I don't know if anyone's read this up, but the first account I've got, before I go into what everyone else thinks, is November the 15th, 1966. It's the US Day won the World Cup, I believe.
Yeah, a few months before,
Yep.
yeah, you're right.
There was 2 couples, Mr. and Mrs. Scarborough and Mr. and Mrs. Mallet. They were driving outside the town in the TNT area outside Mount Pleasant, and they spotted what they thought were car lights behind them. Sorry, what was that?
Was he Timmy? Was his first name Timmy?
No, it wasn't Timmy. This was his dad, Tommy.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
Yeah, Tommy, this one. So they thought they see some car lights behind them, and they soon realised it was the eyes of a huge flying man with huge wings that flew behind their car as they drove away. The headlines the next day in the newspaper read, "Couple sees man-sized bird, creature, something." And in the following year, 100 people claimed to have seen this thing. During this time, there was increased UFO sightings, men in black visiting like the town and the people, and the Mothman sightings just kept rising and rising. The TNT area was a munitions plant in World War II. It was farmland and woodland and wetland, and loads of wildlife. So, first question out of my next 4, First question I got for you is, from what I've just told you and whatever you know, do you think the Mothman could be real but a mutation of another animal? Let's start with Chaz. We've not started with Chaz before. Start with Chaz.
1966, you say, is the first sighting of the Mothman. Right. So this was the era of hippies, no?
In West Virginia, I believe there's still hippies now.
Right. So do we not think that these people were high off their tits or something? 1966 still, yeah, it doesn't matter.
No, it's not relevant. It's very relevant.
No, I'm just saying anyone. Anyone can take drugs, no matter what.
Do you think it could be a mutation of another animal? Like, do you think that's possible?
Well, was there? Because what really causes mutations? Like it's the change of cells. Anything that can do that is.
Yeah.
Was there radiation about?
They may well have been.
Apparently there was.
I don't know the levels, but yeah, it was because it's an old munitions plant where they were making bombs and bullets and God knows what else.
Yeah, but you look at to be honest, I don't think so. You look at Chernobyl. There's been recent studies and stuff.
Apparently he was spotted at Chernobyl. It's true. Apparently the Mothman was spotted.
That is a claim.
People have done research studies called animals from. There is no mutations and that's still a no-go zone after all these years because of the high levels of radiation. So it could be a mutation, it could just be people high, people tired, people see some random stuff when they are tired.
But 100 people. Yeah, but West Virginia, Point Pleasant was a very small town. Yeah, chime in whenever you want.
Oh, yeah.
So, I've watched a couple of things on YouTube and places like that,
Yeah.
and
Man, the Mothman.
it's nothing to do with Mothman, but this bloke was doing an experiment where
Well, this is irrelevant. then.
basically, no. I'm going to come to it. So basically, he robbed someone that was sitting at it was staged. So he took this person's purse whilst a person was watching the purse for him. He then went round the corner, got into a police car, undone his jacket, had a police uniform on, came along and interviewed the person that just witnessed him take the bag, and they did not know it was him. So,
Did
if
they
they
say
think
it was a
they
giant
see-
moth with bat wings?
no, but if they're seeing it's a giant moth, it might have only been, rather than 8 foot or 10 foot wingspan, it might have only been about 4 foot wingspan. 5 foot, they exaggerate.
Yeah, things
They
can
don't-
be exaggerated.
They see,
Yeah.
that's what I want, that's what I think.
Do
I
you
think
know what?
they've
Actually,
seen
I'm
something.
glad you brought that up. Because my next question was going to be, in the area, the biggest animals with eyes that glow from light reflection were owls, herons, and sandhill cranes.
I think there's
Do
less
you really
chances
think
of
an
that.
owl, a heron, or a sandhill crane could be mistaken for a 7-foot monster?
I think an owl could be. An owl's got a world.
The wingspan of, okay, hammer
Yeah,
hob.
but an owl's not 7 foot tall.
No, it's
In the
not.
day,
No.
don't forget this was
No.
this is a daylight sighting. This is a daylight sighting
Right, so what about a
that was
crane?
reported to
And
a
what's
sheriff.
their wingspan? What's their wingspan?
Well,
Crane. And how
Um,
long is it when it's flying from nose to foot? Because their legs are
I
long
don't-
and their necks are long.
Yeah, we don't have
If
Yeah,
I
but
if I see
animal
a crane,
eyes don't glow red.
yeah. If I see a
Right.
crane, I would know the difference between a crane and a giant fucking moth.
But it might have just
I
been
think-
in their rear view mirror as it's flown off, and they've not. I
I think there's probably an explanation for it, but I would like to believe there's some sort of
yeah,
knowledge.
I think that.
Do you think that the Mothman thing? I've only got 2 questions. No, this is my last question. Right, so you got the witness statements. They ranged into the hundreds, right? And like you said, there's no tangible evidence. There's no actual proof that it exists other than a photo, which
And a video.
I forgot to send to the group. Yeah, and a
Send
video. Do you think it could be mass hysteria, or does the fact that the police chief see these people and believe them himself, do you think that adds any credence to it, or do you just think
No.
like
I
100
think
people?
a lot of
that's
people do
hysteria?
jump on the bandwagon of stuff.
I think America
But-
has the most corrupt police.
Right.
But then you've got
Like,
um,
you say mass hysteria. Sorry, let me just
Yeah.
come in here. You say mass hysteria. The scariest film that people had seen, like, I don't know exactly when it was like made, but Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. That was
Yeah.
terrifying to people at that point. So
damn pigeons keep trying to do that to me.
yeah, that was absolutely terrifying to people at that point. So if someone says, "Oh, there's a 7-foot Mothman flying around," oh yeah, I see him. Oh, it's huge, and oh, it's terrifying. Oh, I can't deal with it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, right, I've seen it," and they haven't. There's going to be a
do you
lot of
think?
them. Klingons, I call them. Klingons.
Okay, well, the last bit of this is December the 15th, 1967. The Silver Bridge collapsed, killing 46 people. It was the worst loss of life recorded in American history, like for a bridge collapse. Majority of the people that were died were related to Mothman witnesses, and it is said the Mothman was on the bridge and sighted right before the collapse. Now, is he an omen of bad things to come? Could he be real? Was he warning them? Or is it a case of It's
I
a small
think-
town, everyone's literally related, and it's not mass hysteria. But do you think it stopped because they all died?
Yeah,
I
think at that point- because you have mentioned it's a small town and that, the chances are that everybody's going to come into contact with the Mothman story at some point. So the chances of a more bridge is going to be pretty good.
It's also my cousin.
Go on, Carl. They cut an uncle.
My
Being
uncle.
connected or not.
I like the Mothman.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It is a cool little.
Yeah, it's cool.
So
My
we-
favourite one's the
I'll-
chupacabra.
And if we
Oh,
come
I love the
across,
chupacabra.
if we come across any other stuff to do with the Mothman, we'll come back to it.
Yes, right.
okay.
So we'll move on. Yeah. Hang on. How do we all vote on that one? How do we all
I
vote?
Hold
think-
on, I'm just looking at the picture now.
Well, name what you think it is. I think it's urban myth conspiracy.
Yes.
Fucking creepy picture, but yeah, it's
I
an
think-
urban myth, I think.
I think it's real. I think there's a lot of animals we don't know exist. I mean, look at the cedar camp. That was extinct with the dinosaurs, and yet an African fisherman got one.
Yeah, it definitely is stuff we don't know about, but a 7-foot moth.
Yeah.
I bet I would have spotted one.
I reckon some.
And also, moths come out at night, so if it's a daylight sighting,
Yeah, just go down New York, New York.
they wouldn't be growing red at night in day.
There's a lot of monsters down there, mate.
I think it's just been over exaggerated, but they've seen something
Yeah.
and they don't know what they've
Saints,
explained,
yeah.
and they've just made it up. That's what I think.
They've exaggerated what they've seen.